Chat. Let me know in the chat. Is that you? Is that you? Let me know in the chat. So you need to have a certain level of assurity. You have to be sure, have to be certain about something. But the truth is, what are we actually certain of? What are we certain of? And I'm going to share my screen. What are we certain of? Because there's something that we're certain of. Certain of death. Okay. What else? Nothing. Somebody said nothing. 100%. 100%. So the truth is, we're all looking to be certain about something, but in reality, there's not much that we're certain about. It's really not much. Even I know a lot of us say my capabilities, that's good. It's a good mindset to have. Even in this, we know that there's a limitation to it. So I want you all to think the greatest tool in the world is your mind, but the most limiting tool in the world is also your mind. Why would that be the case? Why would that be the case? Let's go into this whiteboard. Some of us are unaware of the certain things that are playing on our psyche. Okay. Some of us are unaware on these things. The first thing I want you to be aware of is the word perspective. Somebody put the word perspective in the chat. When you start to break down words, are we familiar with etymology, morphology, or any of that? Well, we're going to do some of that here, right? They don't call me mindset mogul for no reason. So perspective. When you think about per, what do you think? What's the root word? What's the meaning of per? So when you look at the prefix on perspective is per. What is it? Something like this, right? Each. Each. There we go. Good. And what about spective? When you are speculating or when you are a spectator, what's that? Okay. I would go with view. You could look, you could see it in different ways. You can see it in different ways, right? Okay. So I want us to see it this way. I want us to see it this way. How many of us are actually looking at things backwards? Where we are saying for the next situation, we approach the next situation in the future based upon how things went in the past. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Let's work because we're getting ready to move fast. I want you to think about this. In the past, how many of us do that? Let me know in the chat. Okay, I see a lot of people saying me. All right, cool. How healthy is that for you? Let me know. How healthy is that for you? How healthy is it for you? So if we know it's not healthy, then why do we do it? Because there's something called knowing. We know, we know. But a lot of times in no, we look for the reasons to tell ourselves no. If it's easy to do, it's also easy not to do. So remember that. Write that down, please, because some of you might forget that. If it's easy to do, it's also easy not to do. So we already know that this is not good for us, but we're not using the greatest skill that we have, which is perspective, because your lifestyle is your mindset turned inside out. Your lifestyle is your mindset turned inside out. Your lifestyle is your mindset turned inside out. If you don't have the life you want, it's because you think that you're incapable of having it. Somewhere along the lines, there are doubts. Okay. So you know, but one thing we know about no is when we know, it means nothing. Uh-oh, am I getting too heavy for you? Am I going too far with this? Knowing means nothing. You know you should go to the gym. Do you do it? You know you should change your eating lifestyle. Do you do it? Do you do it? No, because knowing means nothing. Hey, I know this in school. How much stuff do you know in school that means absolutely nothing right now? Because trust me, I was a straight A student too. I'm student athlete of the year. I also had salutatorian, and the only reason why I didn't get valedictorian because I went to 7 different schools in 9 years. Okay, my parents passed away when I was young. I was lucky I had some other family in my life that allowed me to do these things. But I remember losing over 55 pounds in 41 days because I had esophageal cancer. I remember sleeping on the basement benches of the dorm when financial aid didn't hit and using my North Face jacket as a cover and the hoodie as a pillow, the hood as the pillow. But you know what I had that no one could ever take away from me was perspective. If I had nothing, then I already had everything to be successful. I want you to think about what I just said because we could have just went over your head because some things can't be taught, they got to be caught. Some things can't be taught, they got to be caught. Okay? If you have nothing, if you started with nothing, you already have everything. Everything. Why? Let me just show you how fundamentally it is. Because some of you are so busy looking at what we will call the negatives, right? When we look at the word now, we see the middle, we see no. We're looking at the negatives. We're looking at no. Oh, I know I can't. Oh, I can't do it. I know I can't. We're looking at the no. So we're looking at the negatives instead of the notifications. Looking at the negatives instead of the notifications. Okay? Here's a notification for everybody to see, not the negative. Okay? Is there daytime right now where you're at? Put a yes in the chat if it is, put a no in the chat if it's not. I see a lot of yeses. Is that the truth or is that part of it being true? Let me know. Is it the truth or is it part of being true? Because somebody somewhere else in the world is living at the same moment that you are, but in their reality, it's what? Dark. It's nighttime. Okay, clearly makes sense, right? That clearly makes sense. There's a moon and there's a sun. This is a hot element and then there's a cool element. Are we starting to see this? In order to die, you must have. In order to die, you must have lived. So, are we seeing what's going on here with the perspectives? Each perspective is true. Stop arguing with your significant other. Stop arguing with people to see your ideas. Stop arguing with people to see how you live. Stop doing it because each perspective is true. Somebody's in the middle of the night and day too, where it's starting to become a sunset and it's starting to become a sunrise. Somebody's in the middle of all of that. So you mean to tell me that only your perspective is the only perspective when we just realized what we just saw here, that knowing means nothing, but if you have nothing, it means you have everything? Because when you look at both sides of it, both sides exist because there is no one-sided anything. There's no one-sided anything. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your new life. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your new life. You are already successful, but do you see the negatives or do you see the notification? I don't have enough money, Joy. You don't have enough money? Or are you spending your money on things that don't necessarily serve you? Are we doing a financial audit? See, I want you to put something in the chat. Put your money goals in the chat. Put your money goals in the chat. Put your money goals in the chat. Some of you are going to say infinite amount of money. That's what I want. That's not what we're talking about here, okay? Put your money goals in the chat. 20K a month. See, somebody says sustainable. You know what's sustainable? Sustainable is you making $20,000 a month and your expenses are 1,000. That's sustainable. Is that a reality for somebody? Yes, that is. And they're living great because they're $1,000 surplus every month. So it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you take. You see how we look at the other, you see how we look at the reverse side? We look at the side where we don't have the thing, where we look at it where we say no, but we do know that means no thing, that no thing also means everything, right? So there's no one-sided anything. We need to look at the notifications versus looking at the negatives. When we see the money goals, we say what? I want X amount of dollars a month. Okay, 60K a month, 45K a month, 100K a month, which is great. That's great stuff. That's great. How much do you currently make? Let's do some math because everything is mathematical. If you start to realize this, everything is mathematical in your life. Everything is mathematical in your life. If you have a certain result, it's because whatever you did added up to that result. Say it again so that way we don't forget because we love to blame other people, but somehow, some way, life teaches us more than any other book, any other school system. When you have one finger pointing at someone else, how many fingers are pointing back at you? Okay. So, how much do you currently collect? Put it in the chat. How much do you currently collect? How much do you currently collect? How much do you currently collect a month? Look, this where we start to be scared to type it in the chat. I was seeing everybody type what they wanted in the chat. Now I'm seeing people like I'm gonna just say zero because I don't want them to really know how much I make. Like look, see that's the first thing you need to do is stop caring so much about what other people think about you. Because the truth is you don't care. You don't care and they don't care. Think about it. Do you really care about what they make? Do you really care? Let me know in the chat. Do you really care? I don't think you do. So if you all don't, and I'm telling you, I'm asking you, right? I'm doing you all a favor. I'm showing you how much nobody cares the way you think that they care. I'm asking you, right? How much do you care? That everyone is saying no. Maybe somebody, they got some pocket watches in there, so they like, yeah, maybe on a different day I might care a little bit. But typically don't care. So if we don't really care, then what are you worried about somebody else looking at you? Why are we so busy looking good? You're so busy looking good and thinking that you're good and wanting to be good and playing the role of being good. I'm a good mom, I'm a good dad, I'm a good friend, I'm good, that you forgot about your greatness. You are so busy being good that you've forgotten about your greatness. You make 6K, you make 6K a month and you want $100,000, I want you to subtract and I want you to put the difference in the chat. I want you to put the difference in the chat. That's how much it's costing you to stay the same. That's how much it's costing you to stay the same. This is your financial physical. You do a physical. Now you need to do a financial physical. This is how much it's costing you to stay the same. Every choice you make, every decision that you make, this is how much it's costing you. Think about it. There's something called opportunity cost. And I want to just break this down for you really fast. So, you know what? Let me make some space for this. Are we learning anything valuable right now, or am I just chatting because I don't like chatting? Okay. Yeah, I get paid to talk, but I don't like doing it. Like I do it because this is necessary. This is not about money. This is about humanity. Do I need to have money to live? Yeah. But would I need us to change our perspectives and live in a different way and be better individuals? Yes. Okay. That means more to me than anything. That's why you see me on these calls. I've been doing these calls back to back every day for the last 5 weeks, 5 days a week. Okay, some days 6, and then going live. Anyway, I'm starting to do the chatty patty thing. Let me just erase all of this really fast. I wanted to do something else, but I'm just gonna do this for you. Opportunity, cost. Some of you are thinking all about how much it's costing you, but you just look at the price. You confuse cost and price. Price and cost are not the same thing. Okay? Price and cost are not the same thing. I don't like that. Price and cost are not the same thing. But you're looking at the opportunity cost. You buy a TV for $480, or ever how much these flat TV screens be costing now. It's so cheap. You get so amazed because back in the day, in order to get one of these big TVs, they were big and bulky, and it looked like, it just, you had a bigger TV, better experience, and you probably had more money, right? How much is this TV really costing you though? That's the price. And a lot of us equate the price and think that that's it. How much your TV costs you? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Please don't bring back bulky TVs, Mandy. I'm not doing that, all right? You know how I had to get rid of some of them TVs, and them things were heavy. Heavy. It's so heavy it feels so sort of like some of you with your trauma. It feels like some of you with your trauma. Heavy. And I'm not calling you out and just saying you have trauma. I'm saying we all have trauma. And it's costing us. So part of the trauma, right? Some of your cost is directly related to your trauma. How many of us got something when we got older because it was deprived from us when we were younger? Uh-oh. He's speaking to me. He calling me out. He calling me out, Joy. I don't like it. Let me know in the chat. Put it in the chat. What did you purchase? What did you purchase? What did you purchase? I'm getting ready to come to a close. What did you purchase? Boots and sunglasses. When you was a kid, you was stealing your mom's boots and sunglasses, and she said, "Give me that back, Shaquanda." Wait, what was your name? One of them names. I forgot it. My bad. Uh, Africa. That's what it was. Africa. Give me them boots and my sunglasses. All right, cool. So you spent a lot of money on the TV, but that really wasn't the cost. See, the trauma is connected to your purchasing anyway. So you purchase the TV, and now this is where it gets heavy because every day, right? Like think about it. If let's go back to that 94, that 94 or not 94. Yeah, it was $94,000. Let's just say it was 100K. So that 100K, and you're spending time because you know for a fact, hey, I spent $480 on the TV, so I have to watch it. How many of us is like that? We spent money on something, so we have to watch it or we have to use it because I don't spend money on it because we have this trauma. Same thing with food, right? A lot of us still eat food and overeat, and the trauma is costing us more, right? We don't realize that the trauma is attached to the price tag. So when we pay for food and we overeat, trust me, I know. Even when I had the gastroesophageal reflux disease, I had developed an eating disorder, and it was bulimia. So and some of y'all know what that is. You could just look it up if you don't. But overeating, right? And then some of us undereat. So the trauma is connected to the price. So when you overeat, what's happening? Some of us overeat because we know in the past your parents was like, you better not get out that table, get off the table before you finish your food. Oh, I don't want to. So now you grow up. I don't want to waste anything now. I want to make sure I don't. I got to eat all of it, even when you don't want to. Okay, so I know this is you, and this is costing you in your life. So once again, the opportunity cost when we understand that you want to create $100,000, which is your goal for a monthly or even for a year, right? How much does that break down to? Do the math. Somebody do the math. 100K over 12 months. How much is that? 100K over 12 months. Somebody do the math. Come on, hurry up. You're getting ready to close. Got 2 minutes. 10K a month, but it's a little bit less than that, right? How much per month? If we make 100K a year, how much do we get per month? Okay, good. So we got 80 What we got? 83? 82? Hmm? Okay, good. 8.3. So when we look at it, out of this 8.3, how many days you watch TV? Let's say, okay, let's break it down to now we got to divide this by 30. 8.3 by 30, divided by 30. 8.3, 8,333 divided by 30. When you watch TV and you waste a day, right? I think we said it came down to 278 a day, 277. So we rounded up to 278. All right, cool. This is how much it actually costs you to watch TV. So imagine you watch TV for 30 days, because some of us do, some of us don't. And some of y'all, I'm gonna show you a trick in a second. This is what you're spending. This is how much it actually costs you. The TV, the TV does not cost 430. That's the price that you pay. How much it's costing you to watch it is $8,000. It's the thing that you can't see that moves the needle the most. I want you to think about it. It's 9:30. If I can have 5 more minutes of your time, somebody put 5 more minutes in the chat. If I got 5 more minutes of your time, somebody put 5 more minutes in the chat. That's how much it's costing you. Okay, some of y'all are like, that's not how much it's costing me. I get money now, and I still, I still watch TV. Okay, I'm not saying that you can't watch TV and get money. I'm saying this, and it's very simple. You could only do one thing at a time. A lot of times we like to multitask. Your multitasking is hurting you. Stop doing that. You need to disconnect. You need to minimize your multitasking and disconnect from your distractions. Because what's happening is this: out of this out of this TV watching, you're spending hours watching this TV. So let's break it down into hours. So the 227, $278 divided by 24 is what? The 278 divided by, we can round it to 12. Let me go low. Let me go low. $11. In other words, $11 an hour is what? What is $11 an hour? What is $11 an hour? What does it sound like? $11 an hour. Somebody said nothing. No, it is something. Don't get it confused now. A scam. Scam is sabotaging, complaining, avoiding, and messy. That's what a scam is. Some of us scam ourselves. Uh-oh, somebody got it. Somebody got it. Minimum wage. Aha. So when you're watching TV, you're doing minimum wage activities, but here's the problem. You're taking money from your future self. Instead of getting paid, you're the one playing. You're the one paying. See, the thing about it is, think about it this way. Instead of getting paid, you're the one paying. I want you to understand something. Whether you believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, most melanated people, yeah, I don't want to get into politics. I'm not, yeah, you're already in it. Okay, you are already in it. But the issue is you don't want to play. If you don't play, you get played. Either you're going to be the one playing the game or the one getting played. There's nothing else to it. You can't sit on the sidelines and watch it. It does not work. You'll get a life that you don't love and a life that you didn't design, and you'll complain about the results you got from the work you did not do. Why Trump did this? Well, you don't even know Trump. Trump don't even know you. You don't even know anything about politics. You're waiting for someone else on the outside to change your life before you change on the inside. The math is not adding up. I'm sorry. Y'all done got me excited in here. You done got me wild up in here because you're over here complaining about the money you got. You doing minimum wage activities. You over here talking about you want $100,000 a year, but you're making $6,000 and you're watching TV. Oh, wait a minute. What does that have to do with anything, man? I could watch TV. I could do this. How many of us watch TV? Put a one in the chat. If you put a one in the chat, put a one in the chat if you watch TV. Put a two in the chat if you don't watch TV, but you have a phone. Put a two in the chat if you don't watch TV, but you have a phone. Okay, newsflash, the TVs look just like what? Phones. You watch the same thing on your phone that you watch on the TV. They got you. They found a way to put the TV in your pocket. Got them. Checkmate. Got him. Now you can't live without it. Now they call it a cell phone because not only does it is in your body and it's part of your cells, it's also a thing that keeps you in prison, enslaved, and now it's a cell that locks you down. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Minimum wage activities. And I'm not saying you can't get to a point where you can watch TV. That's a luxury. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so forget. I know I'm getting excited up here. That's part of the theatrics. Right? That's to get you to pay attention, because I know you got trauma. So I'm reaching your trauma right now. The only way you listen to me if I yell. Who I sound like? I sound like one of y'all, to them, or somebody mom, right? Somebody dad. All right. So minimum wage activities you need to be doing are GAs, revenue generating activities. So what I want you to do, I want you to make a list. Support, write this down so that way they can do this as a homework. I want you to make a list of your RGAs and your MWAs. I want you to make a list on your MWAs and your RGAs because you are paying them $11 an hour. And if you didn't know, the reason why when you it's not to spoil you anything for anybody. It's just a reality. The reason why some of you get upset about your paycheck when you look at your paycheck is because you forget that you are hired to pay them. So when an employer, real quick, all of y'all should be getting funded this week. Real quick, I just want to add this value. It's two options: employee or employer. Both of them are good. Nothing is wrong. Okay. I'm an employee and I'm also an employer. It just is what it is. I work for people. Some of y'all like to say I don't want to work for anybody. Who here says that? Put a one in the chat. I don't want to work for anyone. That's you? I want you to eliminate that mindset. Throw that in the garbage. That's Google Gaga. I don't understand it. All right? That's crazy talk. You want to work for everybody in your target audience. You don't want to work for nobody. That's why you don't get the money you want. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Uh-oh, wait, he making a little sense. I want to work for myself. Yeah, you work for yourself and pay yourself how? Take your money that you already got in your pocket, give it to yourself, go spend it. How do you get the money back? Uh-oh, making sense now. So it's either you're an employee or employer. When an employer hires an employee, they're taking out what we call debt. And I'm going to go over this on Wednesday with you. They're taking out debt, right? Okay, when they take out the debt, the employee's responsibility is to bring in the work that pays back the debt. So the reason why when you go to work and you first get hired at a new job and it takes you how long for you to get your money for the first check? 2 to 3 weeks. Because you are in debt. Uh-oh, but you didn't see this though. Because the things that you don't see is the things that move the needle the most. If I cut off the thing that you need the most, what's the thing that you need the most that you cannot see? I'm getting ready to stop it, y'all. What's the thing you need the most that you cannot see? Somebody said time. I said, okay, that's good. Time, what else? Okay, freedom. So now we're getting into this thing where we see other people type stuff. So now we're typing things. All right. What do we call air? What do we call air? What is another word for air? Oxygen. Okay, what else? Breathing, lifeline, cool. But if I cut off your air circulation, what happens? What's the first thing you lose? If you cut off your air circulation, what is the first thing you lose? I don't see it. Oh, my handwriting getting crazy. Consciousness. Consciousness. So what is air? Not ear, but air. You see how crazy the English language is? Not ear, but air. Like you lose consciousness. So what I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, is that the truth is there's a you inside of you that you haven't even met yet that's waiting for you to bring life to it. Consciousness. See, because the person that you believe that you could be already exists. You're looking for answers externally, but the answers are internally. It's here in your internal. You are not just your body, you are really spirit. But it's a connection of all of it that creates your life form. See, the issue is most of us go around putting labels on things and we're missing the understanding because language is the thing that creates your reality. Language produces results. that produces beliefs. Beliefs are double-sided. Either you believe or you disbelieve. Either way, you take an action, and that action creates a result, and that result is your life. There are four bodies. There are four bodies that you have: spirit, emotional. The list goes on. I have a whole thing that I'm going to show you later on as we continue to go. We're going to do a guided meditation tomorrow. So I don't want to spoil it all for you right now. But what I want you to do is I want you to find a space in your life where you give yourself permission to do something. What do you give yourself permission to do? So at that end, as we close, you need to find it in your heart to give yourself permission because you've been waiting on something. You've been waiting. You've been too busy doing minimum wage activities and not working on your RGAs. Why? Because you're waiting for someone else to give you the permission, right? Because we've been living that employee mindset. There's nothing wrong with being an employee, but there is something wrong with not seeing your internal greatness. Okay? There's something that is internally wrong about not seeing your greatness. So you're going to give yourself permission. So there's basically three homeworks, but they're really quick. Give yourself permission. Write down what are you giving yourself permission to do. Then I want you to do your RGAs. And in fact, do we have the book? Can we go ahead and give them the book? Just type in the code MWAs and you'll get it for free. Do we have it? Let's put the book in the chat. This is the MWAs book. Put that in the chat. And if we don't get it right here, I'll make sure you all get it. So no worries. What we said to do, we said to give yourself permission, figure out your MWAs and your RGAs, and then I also want you to do this. I want you to do a clarity challenge. I want you to clean one space in your house. Maybe it's in your car. Maybe it's somewhere, right? Oh no, that's not the right book. Don't not this one. The MWAs is the other book, not this one. I'll put that in the group chat. I'll put that in the group chat. And if we don't get it by tomorrow, I'll give it to you tomorrow. But it's just a list of RGAs and MWAs, but not that one. Not that one. Not that one. All right, cool. So support is going to put that in the Telegram as well, so that way you can have clarity. Okay? Support. If you already cleaned your office space, I knew somebody was going to say that. That's why I gave y'all three. Somebody's always, I already did it. Well, cool. But what about your trunk of your car? What about the passenger seat? Let's stop playing. I know where y'all hidden spaces at. Stop playing with me. Okay? I know, I know. But anyway, we're coming to a close. I want you to go ahead and put your biggest takeaway inside the Telegram group. Once again, support will put the information in for the homework. So if you didn't get it and it kind of went too fast, that's okay. We'll put that in the Telegram group. If today was powerful, I want you to come off of mute and I want you to snap it up and clap it up for you because this is only day one. We got class tonight. So make sure we're on time, meaning 5 minutes early, 10 minutes early, and make sure you give yourself permission to live truthfully and stand in your power. Let's send a request to have everybody come off of mute. I want you to snap it up and clap it up. Your next level is loading. Let's continue to go. All right, all right. Y'all go. Y'all go out there and be amazing. Once again, we'll put the link to the resource for the MWAs and RGAs inside the Telegram group so everybody can get that. Just focus on getting those things done as far as the homework, and let's continue to go. You are the best of the best, top of the top, cream of the crop. You did that. I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you tonight on class. Let's continue to go, y'all. Close.